So, what's the role of this place? Why is everyone stationed here?
It's our main base. We took it because it lets us keep an eye on the Strip, and it had already been fortified before the Great War. From here we handle most of the logistics for our operations in Nevada. Troop allocation, supply distribution, intel. Usually General Oliver runs the show here, but he's on his way to the dam now, so I've taken on a lot of his duties here.
What challenges do you face?
Everything was going according to President Kimball's plan at first. We met minor resistance from local troublemakers. But our two main objectives are still contested. Mr. House controls the Strip and he won't so much as meet with our ambassador. And we're holding Hoover Dam. But Caesar's Legion is positioning itself to overrun it. If it falls, so will New Vegas. We'd be forced to withdraw.
Oh. How are things going overall since the leak was plugged now?
Could be better, I'll say that much. We set up here with our sights set on annexing New Vegas. That's a lot of resources that could do a lot of good for us. But that hasn't happened. If anything, they annexed us. They rake in the profits from our soldiers, and we're stuck protecting them from the Legion. Not exactly the plan.
Huh. Where does that leave you?
Now we're trying to secure the Strip and the dam at the same time, and it's costing us. And in the meantime, General Oliver won't approve any offensive maneuvers, because he doesn't want to risk losing our positions. So we're in a holding pattern here. And Caesar's on the other side of the river, planning.
Things mostly quiet between here and the dam?
Unfortunately, no. In fact, the word from the ranger stations has been especially concerning lately. Sounds like they've run into overwhelming resistance, and supplies just aren't reaching them. It's been so bad, I asked Sergeant Reyes at Camp Forlorn Hope to look into it, and see how it is that things could be so fouled up there.
Huh. Well, I'll leave you to it.
Bye.
I'm thinking, with how bad things seem to be with the NCR and the Legion, maybe we want to just help them out a bit. Even given the political problems involved, my own personal feelings, just because if Caesar's Legion overrun the dam because they're stretched thin and unable to defend themselves properly, well, we're out of the state, and I've got to keep traveling. I kind of like this place, so I'm gonna do what I can for the NCR here, and you know, nothing too dangerous, but if it's just traveling, just investigation, then sure. Now, considering I just plugged your intelligence leak, maybe you'll let me help out.
You're back.
Do you need any help in there?
Yeah, so far this has gone exactly as expected. Poorly. But with the work you've done for NCR already, you might be just what I've been looking for. We captured an honest-to-God Centurion of Caesar's Legion recently.
Is that a big deal?
Better believe it. Everybody in Caesar's Legion from Caesar on down will kill themselves before they can be captured. They're so twitchy they'd probably do it if you reached out to hug them. But here's this guy, who's an elite commander in their army, and he just gives himself up, even as his men are slitting their own throats around him.
What do you think it means?
Well, I don't know about you, but to me that sounds like a man who's willing to cooperate. Except he hasn't. Only times he speaks up are to insult you. He's a real prick, by the way. And I'm supposed to get information out of this guy.
Have you tried calling him hurtful names?
Yes, and one time I thought I saw a tear when I told him his uniform was unflattering. But I think he just got some dust in his eye.
What about a truth drug?
Don't have anything like that. Sounds nice. Like the kind of thing I'd want to take home and use on my husband. But even if we did, I don't know that I'd be comfortable using it. If there's any risk of overdose, it's not worth it. Asshole's too valuable.
I guess that means being them senseless is out of the question.
I like the way you think. Have I said that yet? Problem is that the NCR frowns on using that sort of tactic. There are some restrictions still in place from President Tandy's administration. But here's my favorite thing about you. You're not in the NCR. Plus, for all this guy knows, you're completely insane. That's a winning combination.
So you want me to do what you can't?
I think if you rough him up enough, and really put some fear into him, he'll sing like a choir boy. So let's do this. When you're ready, I'll go in and give you a little intro. Then I leave the room, and you make him regret the day he was born. We go back and forth a couple times until either he talks or he can't move his jaw anymore. Either way, we've had our entertainment for the day.
Well, I generally object to the use of violence against prisoners of war.
Ah, tear my heart out, why don't you? Well, maybe you can find a way to play with his mind. Get him out of his comfort zone. People lose their heads and say things they regret. Especially if they underestimate you. This dickhead would underestimate a nuclear missile. Plenty of ways to skin a cat, as they say. Hey, what if we skinned him? Bet he wouldn't be so smug then.
Okay, let's get started then.
That's the spirit. Okay, I'll go in and have a word with him. Then I'll call you in.
Now this is going to be interesting. So I can say...
Long time no see, Silus.
Lieutenant, I was just thinking about you.
That's so.
I was just thinking about that pretty neck of yours.
How sweet.
I was thinking about how it would look with a Legion slave collar on it.
I'll pass.
Do you know what I love about our slave collars, Lieutenant?
If you love them, maybe you should try one on.
I love how tightly they fit. I train my men to make sure the slave's flesh bulges a bit around the top and bottom. Know why?
It's all the rage in fashion circles?
Not quite. If you fit it just right, their body never gets used to the feeling of wearing it. It cuts in just enough when they swallow or turn their head to remind them who they belong to. And it's that constant reminder that keeps them docile.
In that case, maybe you'd better save the collar you were gonna give me.
Oh? For whom?
For a friend of mine you're about to meet. My friend isn't very docile.
And who is this friend of yours?
You know all the rules the NCR instituted to protect enemy prisoners of war?
Of course.
My friend doesn't. Oh, and Silus? If you resist at all, I'll personally blow your brains out. Come on in, he's all...
Okay, gotta have my proper apparel, sunglasses, and I'll have nothing out, but maybe I'll put on the cowboy hat and a surgeon's outfit to make it look like I'm a crazy doctor. I think I'll have a whiskey as well, just to get my strength up. Maybe mix it with some water.
All yours. I'll be back in a bit to see how you're getting along. And I'll need you to surrender your weapons before you go in. You can pick them up from the locker on your way out.
Okay. Well, I'm crazy, Silus. You better watch out. I'm crazy.
What an ugly little worm you are. What pile of excrement did the lieutenant pluck you from, worm?
You smell like excrement, so there.
I must admit that a conversation with an imbecile may be far worse than the kind of torture I was anticipating. But somehow I think I'll manage.
You're about to tell me everything you know, Silus.
Of course, of course. All you had to do was ask. I'll tell you everything I know. Let's see. I know that you're a brainless cretin. I know that you're wasting your time. I know the lieutenant is going to be disappointed in you. And I know that by this time next month, the streets of New Vegas will be decorated with the decaying heads of NCR soldiers. Is there anything else you wanted to know?
Okay. Going over this in my head. I haven't really got any options here. This guy's tough nut to crack. I've made this kind of implied threat. I've kind of got to follow through. I hoped it wouldn't have to come to this, but, well, you've just made me angry.
I can take anything you've got.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you keep away. You keep away. Keep away. Keep away. Keep away.
Come on!
Yep, there we go.
Had enough?
Nope, you had enough. Keep slapping him until... Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting a little tired now. Okay, just keep on going. You can't keep this up forever.
Enough!
Can't keep it up. Can't keep up with me. Okay. Okay. You're not fighting back, are you? It's because you know that you're gonna lose. That's all I can say.
All right, you can stop for a second. Whoa, easy there. You're supposed to rough him up a little.
Yeah.
Why don't you step outside a minute? Let off some steam. Nice job. I think my friend doesn't like you, Silus. I don't know how much longer I can keep him under control.
Okay. I think it just got a bit wrong. Yep. Just bugged out a little there. Oh my god, that was completely stupid of me. Right, be right back.
Get away from me.
Whoa, easy there. You're supposed to rough him up a little, not kill him. Why don't you step outside a minute? Let off some steam. Nice job.
Only shot him in the head a couple of times.
My friend doesn't like you, Silus. I don't know how much longer I can keep him under control.
You think this'll make me talk? A beating? This is the best you can do?
Not just any beating, Silus. A savage beating. A beating that you'll be reminded of every time you feel pain from now on. When my friend's done with you, you won't have any of your teeth left. You'll be drinking your food through a straw. Your ribs will never heal properly, and it will hurt every time you breathe. It'll be like your collars, Silus. Impossible to forget.
Go to hell.
Huh. Not the sort of wit I've come to expect from you, Silus.
You're getting nothing from me.
I'm getting entertainment. That's something. So what's it gonna be? Are you gonna spill your guts to me? Or am I gonna let my friend the maniac back in here for some playtime? Silus. Silent treatment, huh? Have it your way. Come on back in. I think he misses you. Oh, look at the weapons one more time. For your safety as well as his.
Come on. What are we going to do with these weapons?
You hit like a bedridden old
With a
woman.
magnum. Lucky you. You can borrow my dentures when I knock all your teeth out.
It'll take more than that to get me to talk, worm.
Trouble.
Enough, this is pointless. I'm dead to the Legion either way, I'll tell you what I know. But you should know that Caesar has always kept his own counsel. He never reveals anything that would make him vulnerable. My knowledge will not prevent the inevitable. This camp will be ash within months. Maybe weeks.
I must say that I'm quite glad to find this little glitch by getting in before she finishes her speech. You can just shoot him. It makes things a lot simpler. I'll be judge of that. Let's hear what you got to say.
Something is wrong with Caesar. Something he is attempting to hide from his men. But it was obvious before we set out on this last mission. For 3 days we awaited his order to dispatch us. 3 days. But he hid in his tent, refusing to give orders, complaining of headaches. He looks different now than he used to. His face is sunken, sickly. But any questioning of his health enrages him.
There must be more you can tell me.
There is one other thing that may interest you. I know that Caesar has planted a spy here. Every night, details of NCR troop movements are broadcast from a radio on this base to Caesar's camp. The spy has been here a long time.
since before the entire conflict began. He's an officer. If I knew who he was, I would tell you. If I escape and he's alive to report it, the Legion would hunt me down. But like I said, none of this information will change the outcome for you. No force can hold back the tide of the Legion.
Yeah, your officer's already dead. Afraid to say. My job is done. Unpleasant as it is.
You got something to say, or... That was fun to watch. I'd have you do it again, but I'd probably get in trouble. This'll do the NCR a lot of good, so you should be proud. Here's the standard fee. Plus, I threw in the price of a good show on the Strip. That's from me, personally. You can beat up my prisoners anytime.
Sure. I'll leave you to it then.
Yep. See you around.
Nasty work, gotta say. But times being what they are, sometimes you gotta cut corners like that. To be honest, didn't expect it to work. Now it did. That's kind of disturbing, to be honest. Dawn's breaking. I'm thinking that maybe I should go after one of those fiends. You know, just a scouting round, kind of take the pressure off this base. Let's wait a little. It's bright out here. Really want to slip back into my armor. It's probably better than the reinforced right now because it needs some repairs. Who's this?
Man, Doc Kemp really fixed me up right the last time I got shot. He's the man to see if you need some fixing.
Doc Kemp. Okay. Bear that name in mind. Huh, bunch of stuff, some of which we can take, some of which we can't. Interesting. Oh, well, we found the steam gauge assembly. Conductor. I think those both be useful for fixing that pressure cooker. So... Bobby pin. Okay. So, Veronica, why don't you take this stuff?
Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress?
Okay. You take the scrap metal, scrap electronics, this so we remember, steam gauge assembly. Okay. That'll do for now. Where's Dutch?